Tony Hinchcliffe has a Gringo Poppy special that he doesn't want you to find, that he does not want you to find. Let me tell you, he does not want you to find it. Why do I know that? Because it was really hard to find. But I'm going to take you on a journey on how I came upon this, and maybe, allegedly, I will point you in a direction where I don't know if the video is that way, you know, but could be. Could be. Could be. You never know on these YouTube things. They're always watching. But anyways, it started a couple of days ago. I was thinking to myself, why does Tony Hinchcliffe have no specials? Why doesn't he have any specials? I don't know. And then this Red Bar episode popped up on my feed. And I was like, okay, I'll check this out. You know, this guy's ruthless, but hilarious at the same time. And, you know, I'll see what he has to say. He went on a little rant about Tony Hinchcliffe. And it made me think. He said, you know, this Tony Hinchcliffe guy, he's out there, this big comedian, you know, blah, blah, blah. Tony. And he hasn't had a special out. And a matter of fact, if you try and find the one that he did in 2016, it's so hard to find. And that is when I began my search. And you know what struck me too is 2016, right? That's almost 8 years ago. That's almost 8 years ago. Is he on Joe Rogan's plan that you can't do a special until 10 years plus? Does that mean that he knew this special was shit? And his clock started over and he had to do 10 years. And in 2 years, Tony's going to release a special. I'm calling it now. 2026, Tony Hinchcliffe will release his next special. 2026. So I began a searching, looking for this thing here. And the first thing you're probably going to come upon is the IMDb. It says here, 2016, 57 minutes. Directed by Ben. And I think it was shot in the Ice House, right? Something like that. Yeah, in Pasadena, California. I said, cool. He's got a 1 star. He's got 2 reviews. Let's look at it. 2 reviews. 7 and a 1. They're both kind of interesting. So again, I'm looking. I Googled the shot. This is what Tony looks like. So it's true it's in the Ice House. We're getting somewhere, huh? We're getting somewhere. His IMDb says to click on his website. So I went to his website. I started reading. Started thinking to myself, Tony Hinchcliffe, a touring stand-up comedian based out of Los Angeles. Well, somebody hasn't updated their website. But it says 2024. Y'all, you know, I work in this business, motherfuckers. I work in this business. Y'all, your web developer is failing you. They didn't even suggest your... See, this is... Oh, there it is. Slingshot. Who is his web developer? Slingshot e-commerce. From concept to satisfied customer. Slingshot is a one-stop shop for digital and physical direct-to-consumer commerce. Who we are. We obviously aren't on top of things. What we do. Not do... Okay, this is crazy. Anyway, sorry. This is just a personal thing. This is a personal pet peeve of mine, you know. I mean, he's left LA a long time ago. Does he even care about this website? But let me read this part. Sorry. This is kind of upsetting. You know, this is customer service. You know, you have clients, you should do some good customer service, right? You know if your client is Tony Hinchcliffe, right? And obviously his whole identity is Austin, you know, maybe you got to update the bio. You got to update the bio. You got to update the bio. Anyways, Tony also tours internationally with Joe Rogan and can be seen frequently on the JRE, the most popular podcast in the world. Tony is a regular at every major club in LA and headlines regularly at every major club as well as some of the finest theaters in wait. Headlines regularly at every major club as well as some of the finest theaters in America. What does that mean? Is he a big deal? Is it he's saying he's a big deal? America, Australia, and Europe? Dude, this is 2020. I imagine this was the last time this was updated. Damn, 4 years ago? Anyways, let's see if Tony cares. What's Tony care about? World-renowned comedian. Is this even... TonyHinchcliffe.com. Is this even new? Oh, he's got his new tour dates. That's awesome. About Tony. Tony is a stand-up comedian. And the same bio is there. Okay. And he has a Comedy Mothership shirt on. So they didn't update his fucking bio, dog. They don't even mention Kill Tony. Oh, no, they do right there. Sorry. I was dumb. But he has a Comedy Mothership. Okay. This is like, do they have his stuff? So this is just all his content. Just want to just pause for a second and look at the current IMDb rating of Burn the Boats. We're sitting at a 4.5. It looks like some Rogan fans came in real hard. They came in and they lifted it up, man. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really stoned, so I'm acting a little funny. And then I'm acting a little like researchy too. I was just interesting. You know, there's just so many things that you could see on that website that just don't correlate with like today. But they have things from today on the website, and they're just missing part of the homepage. You know, that's like the homepage, like the most important page. And how many scrolls with that? You only get a limited amount of time. You know, I think it's like it gets quicker every year. But the last I checked, I think you have like 2 to 3 seconds to keep someone on your website. 2020 was 4 years ago. Anyways, moving on. So Mr. Rogues is sitting at a 4.5. This one's just for fun, guys. This is fun. Look, I don't like Chad Daniels. You know, like I don't even know who the guy is. I just took a position. You may agree, you may not. I don't like William Montgomery. I know that. That guy just upsets me. He just like, I look at that guy and I'm just like, oh. Just don't be in my world. That's how I feel about him. But Chad Daniels, you know, I haven't even watched the special. But I just wanted to point out that he has a 7. And Joe Rogan has a 4.5. He has a 7. I mean, and that's Alicia Silverstone. Man, you remember her back in Clueless? Love that movie. That was a good movie. That was the 90s. That was the 90s. Man, that was so 90s. The 90s were great. And I'm not just saying that. You know, I spent my childhood and my high school in the 90s. And it was just a magical time. You want to know why? You want to know why. Because we used to have to do things together. It was pretty good, man. You remember playing outside? God, dude. And then like fuck cell phones, dude. I don't have social media because it's like, no. I don't like this YouTube thing. Like, it's kind of crazy, you know, and like even that's annoying. But man, when you used to have answering machines and you just like call your friend and he pick up the phone, be like, yo, you want to go to the movie theater? Yeah. Can you get a ride? We need a ride, you know? And then you go to the movie theater and you never see a phone again. You'd never see a phone again. Those are the days. I miss those days because honestly, I think the cell phone and social media has ruined society. But you know, you think about the Romans, they probably had something then like, oh shit, the gladiators, that is fucking up the society. You know, they probably had something like that then too. But who knows? Who knows? But Chad Daniels, he's got a 7. He's got a 7. Can you believe that? He's got a 7. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? What does Tony got? What's Tony's one shot? Tony's one shot. Tony's got a 5.9. Tony's batting in pretty strong over the old Rogan. Rogan is just, I mean, how do you ignore that? It's not, how do you ignore that? You know, I feel bad. I want him to come out. I know everyone has some really gnarly feelings to Rogan, and he's just like turning out to be not the person I thought he was. But we also got to remember there's got to be some like redemption, you know? Don't we want to see a redemption arc or something? Or is it, or do we just loathe the ultra rich? Do we loathe the ultra rich? Do we loathe those oligarchs that control our country? Is that what it is? Is that why people like Joe Rogan just sit outside of redemption? I don't know. I don't know. But anyways, if you are a Spotify member, or I don't know, maybe if you log in, you can listen to his album. And this is where I first got to. And then I opened this page and I didn't log in. And then the process of me having to log in totally put me off on logging in, even though I have Spotify right over there. But then the other thing is like, I don't want to listen to it except I want to see it, right? Because I don't know what is this just segments? Is there a pause in between segments? You know, I don't know. I don't know. So I just passed on this one. I said, I'm going to keep hunting. Now, if you get around, depending where you are, the third, fourth, and possibly the fifth page of Google, you might stumble upon a link that will actually give you the movie. I don't want to put this link. I don't want to get in trouble. Tony's obviously hiding this special for a reason, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. So old Tony walks in down a long hallway. I know he's against the wall, and he's smoking a cigarette, and he's just kind of like, and then he puts it out, and he just starts walking down a hall. You know, Tony, like, I'm trying to get like real thin right here, like little small shoulders. And so he's walking down the hall. And then he turns, and there's a comedy room, and he just keeps walking. And then it looks like there's a hallway that goes to the stage. It's crazy, but he just walks. And on the stage, you see Joey Diaz. Joey Diaz up there. And Hinchcliffe walks on. Joey's like, is trying to introduce her, and Hinchcliffe just goes, he goes right up next to, right up next to Joey Diaz, and he goes like this. And he's just hanging there, just like, look at him. And then Joey, like, awkwardly, like, and it was a real awkward hug. And then he goes down. And then he proceeds to say, there's two Asians in the front of the crowd. This is a big party. Blah, blah, blah. And then he starts some crowd work. He singles out the only black man in the crowd, apparently. And then he calls him Mr. T. It was really weird. And then he does some of that, and then he goes into a whole bit where he makes fun of a man without an eye who wears an eye patch. And it was really, this was like where I was about to turn it off, because it was just really awkward. He starts out saying something. I saw a man with an eye patch, and that it was like, it made me angry, like, secretly worried about you, and it was really strange. It was really strange. And he just had this animosity behind a guy that had an eye patch, because he saw this man because his headlight went out and he went into this wherever. I was hardly paying attention. And then he says to the man, like, I'm missing a headlight, and so are you, referring to him not having an eye. And I was just like, all right, Gringo Poppy. This is a Gringo Poppy. The Gringo Poppy transcends Brendan's documentary. Now, if you have, this is the one good thing Brendan Schaub left and graced this earth with. If you have a bad special, it's just called a Gringo Poppy. It is a Gringo Poppy. If you go on stage and you Gringo Poppied, the verb of Gringo Poppy, you know, you can, he's up there doing a Gringo Poppy. You could also say it like that. You could say, he's up there Gringo Poppying. Right? So thank you, Brendan Schaub, for blessing us with the Gringo Poppy. That is now a noun used to describe a bad comedy special. A Gringo Papi. Are we cool with that? Are we cool with that? Yes. So this is Tony's Gringo Papi. Or his missing headlight. Or the man with one eye. So I just want to say, if you want to find this, it can be found. Don't just stop on the first page or the second page. Maybe the third if you get lucky. But most likely, when you get to the fourth and the fifth page, you will stumble upon Tony Hinchcliffe's Gringo Papi. And for good reason. For good reason, he has been hiding this. For good reason. Because who doesn't want to hide their Gringo Papi? You know, it's like a metaphor for everything in life. You know, you're worried you might get canceled because you have a Gringo Papi. You might be worrying about later tonight when you get home because right now you're Gringo Papiing in front of everybody and you don't know how you're going to look your kids in the eye. I just want to say out there, if you have a Gringo Papi, don't be scared. Just own it. Because everyone has a Gringo Papi somewhere. Somewhere. And you just can't let your Gringo Papi scare you anymore. Thank you for watching. Good night.